أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. The first verse I want to recite is chapter 30, verse 38. ولقد أرسلنا رسلا من قبلك وجعلنا لهم أزواجا وذرية وما كان للرسول أن يأتي بآية إلا بإذن الله لكل أجل كتاب and certainly and messenger before and appointed for boys and children. And it is not in the power of a messenger to bring a sign except by Allah's permission. For everything there is a time. The next one is chapter 31, verse 34. إن الله عنده علم الساعة وينزل الغيب ويعلم ما في الأرحام وما تدري نفس ماذا تكسب غدا وما تدري نفس بأي أرض تموت إن الله عليم خبير. Surely Allah is He with whom is the knowledge of the hour, and he sends down the rain, and he knows what is in the womb, and no one knows what he will earn on the morrow, and no one knows in what land he will die. Surely Allah is not aware. And then 25 verse 70. من تاب وعمل صالحا فأولئك يبدل الله سيئاتهم حسنة وكان الله غفورا رحيما. This is the punishment, and it says it is those except him who repents and believes and does good deeds. For such Allah changes their evil deeds to good, and Allah is ever giving mercy. And then in chapter 57, and I will only recite the English translation. 57:5. This is talking about the day of judgment. On that day, you will see the believers, men and women, their light gleaming before them and on their right hand. Good news for you this day, gardens in which rivers flow to abide in them. That is the mighty achievement. On that day when the hypocrites, men and women, will say to those who believe, wait for us, that we may borrow from your life. It will be said, turn back and seek a light. Then a wall with a door in it will be raised between. Within it shall be mercy, and outside of it punishment. They will cry out to the believers, were we not with you? The believers will say, indeed, but you caused yourselves to fall into temptation, and you waited, and you doubted, and when desires deceived you till the threatened punishment of Allah came, and the arch deceiver deceived you rightly. So this day no ransom will be accepted from you, nor from those who disbelieve. Your abode is the fire, it is your patron, and evil is the destination. And then 57:20. Know that this world's life is only an idle sport and play and an attraction and boasting amongst yourselves and a race in multiplying your wealth and your children. It is as rain whose causing the vegetation to grow pleases the tillers, then it withers away, so that you see it yet, then it becomes chaff. And in the hereafter is a severe punishment, but also forgiveness from Allah and His pleasure. And this world's life is nothing but a source of vanity. My wife and I, we went to the OTA annual summer lunch yesterday. OTA stands for the Old Tauntonians Association, and Taunton's Grammar School was my old school. And I was so excited because I thought of meeting all those young boys again with whom I used to play cricket and hockey, etc., in the school playground. But when we arrived at the venue, the golf club's dining room, was full of old men. All the young faces in my memory had disappeared. Some could hardly walk or stand, let alone play cricket or hockey. I said to one person, remember our vows that after university we were not going to get 9 to 5 jobs. We were going to go out and we were going to change the world for the better and not seek after material things and houses and cars and so on. We were going to bring the Vietnam War to an end. We were going to have the atom bomb banned with our CND marches, and we were going to abolish poverty throughout the world and make it a better place to live, and 1,000 other things. He looked at me and said, I know, but where did time go? I always thought, let me move house, get a new house, then get a new car, then I will work on things. But suddenly, all the time gone. The poet who said, equip yourself with power, with piety, equip yourself with piety, for you do not know when night comes whether you will live till dawn. How many come and laugh in the evening and in the morning when the shrouds are being prepared, but they do not realize. I guess every generation is the same, though I have to say that I see very little optimism in, uh, in the young these days. We who were so idealistic, who vowed to change the world, who were going to abolish the borders. You would go to London or the continent and so on, and as I did hitchhiking, and you would meet people from all countries of the world with the same aim, with the same ambition. Let's make this a better place to live. All that seems to have gone. We who were so idealistic were trapped by temporary desires and wonder what will happen to the young, to today's young. See what the Holy Prophet said, see what the Holy Quran says, and that is that the hypocrites will say to the believers, wait for us that we may more of your light. It will be said, turn back and seek a light, turn back and seek a light. They will say, work not of you, and they will say indeed, but cause yourself fall into temptation, and you and you doubted, and vain desires deceived you till the threatened punishment of Allah came. And the arch deceiver deceived you about him. Just think about your life in the light of this world. How often it is that you put off doing good because some more urgent task is coming. There's some client to see. There is some job to be done. There's some project to be finished. Just remind yourself. How often do you say, oh, let me finish this, then I'll do good. Let me buy this, new house. Let me change my car. Well, these are necessities as well. Then I will do good. And what does the Holy Quran says? In the hereafter, the answer to these people will, when they ask, were we not with you? The answer will be indeed, but you cause yourselves to fall into temptation and waited and doubted and vain desires deceived until this moment arrived. And now you are born their life. The Holy Quran reminds us of the frailty of our frailty, of the frailty of human life. It points out the life of this world is mere sport. Know that this world's life is only an idle sport and play and an attraction and boasting amongst yourselves and a race in the multiplication of wealth and children. And sometimes at these reunions, this is what we do. We compare our successes with others' successes, not in good deeds, but in the possessions that we acquired, the wealth we acquired, the car that we traveled in to the reunion, and so on. The Holy Quran points out that this is just temporary. This is mere sport, and it will remain behind. There is always something temporary to be possessed. A new model of the car, a bigger television screen, and whatever else that we have. And that takes our attention away from the real thing, which is doing good. And as the Holy Quran says, no one knows what he will earn tomorrow, and no one knows where they will die. And yet, despite that, we know that, and then, but despite that, we forget it or we ignore it. And then at the end, like yesterday, we meet and we reminisce, and suddenly we ask, where did all that time go? We never meant to be diverted into amassing wealth and possessions, but where did all those ambitions to do good go? And as the Holy Quran says, that we are deceived by the art deceiver. When his eyes deceive you, till the threatened punishment of Allah came, and the art deceiver deceived you by Allah. And some of us don't even get time to ask for forgiveness before we die. So as God says, you don't know, your heart may stop any instant and you'll drop dead. You may not even get a chance to seek God's forgiveness for having got straight and sought the word at the expense of the hereafter. We old ones still may have a little time. So let us try and make up the lost time and do some good now. But to the young, I say, please, please don't put off doing good tomorrow, because tomorrow may never come. You hear this and you think, oh, just an old man saying these things. Yes, it's true, but remember this, that this old man was young once. He went from England to Pakistan by road, sleeping in cars, sleeping on footpaths, and so on. You may not do that, but a day will come when you will find you will be too old to do any good. You may be confined to your bed or have some or have difficulty walking or whatever it might be. And then you lie there and you regret that you wasted that time in burning Susie. I'm not saying you pursue uh, things like emotion, all that thing. But your objective should always be to do good, to improve humanity. Whatever you do, whatever you keep in mind, one thing is going to earn Allah's pleasure or not. If you don't, and you are young, you will not listen because that is the lesson that we learn. That young never listen, and you may not ask at your school's reunion, you may or university or college's reunion, you may not ask the question that you want to get 9 to 5 jobs and change the world and so on. But you will ask this, where did all the time go? And you will never be able to get it back. So do your duty to Allah. Barakallahu lana wa lakum fil Quran al-Azim. ونفعنا وإياكم بالآيات والذكر الحكيم إنه تعالى جواد كريم ملك بر رؤوف رحيم. Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah, nahmaduhu wa nasta'inuhu wa nastaghfiruhu wa nu'minu bihi wa natawakkalu alayhi wa na'udhu billahi من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد اللهم انصر من نصر دين محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم واجعلنا منهم واخذل من خذل دين محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم ولا تجعلنا منهم عباد الله رحمكم الله إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون اذكروا الله يذكركم وادعوه يستجب لكم ولذكر الله أكبر والله يعلم ما تصنعون. الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح قد قامت الصلاة قد قامت الصلاة الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله 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 أكبر الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. قل أعوذ برب الناس ملك الناس إله الناس من الوسواس الخناس الذي يوسوس في صدور الناس من الجنة والناس. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi. Astagfirullah, astagfirullah, astagfirullah. Thank you for joining us for today's Friday service. I hope you found it useful and you will continue to send us your suggestions, etc. In the meantime, we request that till we take it to continue to pray for the whole humanity, especially our brothers and sisters in Palestine, Palestinians, and the Israelis, that God may open their hearts to think that glory lies in the service of humanity, all regardless of religion, race, and glory does not lie in killing and genocide and murder. Until we meet again, Assalamu alaikum, Khuda Hafiz, and goodbye. May Allah keep all of you safe and sound.